The Tale of Despereaux. Chapter 37. A Small Taste. She was asleep, and dreaming of her mother, the queen, who was holding out a spoon to her and saying, "Taste this, my sweet pea, taste this, my darling, and tell me what you think." The princess leaned forward and sipped some soup from the spoon her mother held out to her. "Oh, mamma," she said, "it's wonderful. It's the best soup I've ever eaten." "Yes," said the queen, "it is wonderful, isn't it?" "May I have some more?" said the pea. "I gave you a small taste so that you would not forget," said her mother. "I gave you a small taste so that you would remember." "I want more," said the pea. But as soon as the princess said this, her mother was gone. She disappeared, and the bowl and the soup spoon disappeared along with her. "Lost things," said the pea. "More lost things." And then she heard her name. She turned, happy, thinking that her mother had come back, but the voice was not her mother's. The voice belonged to somebody else, and it was coming from someplace far away, and it was telling her to wake up, wake up. The pea opened her eyes and saw Meggery Sow standing over her bed, a knife in one hand and a candle in the other. "Meg?" she said. "Gore," said Meg softly. "Say it," commanded Resquirrel. Meg closed her eyes and shouted her piece. "If you does not want to get hurt, princess, you must come with me." "Whatever for?" said the princess in an annoyed tone. As I have noted before, the princess was not a person who was used to being told what to do. "What are you talking about?" Meg opened her eyes and shouted, "You got to come with me, so after we take some lessons, you some long lessons and me some short ones, together way down in the deep downs, I can be you and you can be me." "No!" shouted Resquirrel from Meg's pocket. "No, no, you're doing it wrong." "Who said that?" "Your Highness," said Resquirrel, and he crawled out of Meg's pocket and made his way up to her shoulder, and situated himself there, laying his tail across her neck to balance himself. "Your Highness," he said again, and he raised the spoon slowly off his head and smiled, displaying his mouth full of truly hideous teeth. "I think it would be best if you do as Meggery Sow suggests. She is, as you quite clearly see, in possession of a knife, a large knife, and she will, if pushed, use it." "This is ridiculous," the princess said. "You can't threaten me. I'm a princess." "We," said Resquirrel, "are all too aware of the fact of who you are. A knife, however, cares nothing for the least that you are royalty, and you will bleed, I assume, just like any other human." The pea looked at Meg. Meg smiled. The knife glinted in the light of the candle. "Meg?" she said, her voice shaking the tiniest bit. "I really do not think," said Resquirrel, "that Meg would need much persuasion to use that knife, princess. She is a dangerous individual, easily led." "But we are friends," said the pea. "Aren't we, Meg?" "Eh?" said Meg. "Trust me," said Resquirrel. "You are not friends, and I think it would be best if you addressed all your communications to me, princess. I am the one in charge here. Look at me." The pea looked right directly at the rat and at the spoon on his head. Her heart skipped one beat, and then two. "Do you know me, princess?" "No," she said, lowering her head. "I don't know you." But, reader, she did know him. He was the rat who had fallen in her mother's soup, and he was wearing her dead mother's spoon on his head. The princess kept her head down. She concentrated on containing the rage that was leaping up inside of her. "Look again, princess, or can you not bear to look? Does it pain your royal sensibilities to let your eyes rest on a rat?" "I don't know you," she said, "and I'm not afraid to look at you." The pea raised her head slowly. Her eyes were defiant. She stared at the rat. "Very well," said Rescurl. "Have it your way. You do not know me. Nonetheless, you must do as I say, as my friend here has a knife. So get out of bed, princess. We're going on a little journey. I would like it if you were dressed in your loveliest gown, the one that you were wearing at a banquet not so long ago. And put on your crown." "Put that on your princess head," said Meg. "Yes," said Rescurl. "Please, princess, do not forget your crown." The pea, still staring at Rescurl, pushed the covers back and got out of bed. "Move quickly," said Rescurl. "We must take our little journey while it's still dark, and while the rest of the castle sleeps on. Ignorant. Oh, so ignorant. I am afraid of your fate, princess." The princess took a gown from her closet. "Yes," said Rescurl to himself. "That's the one. The very one. Look at how it sparkles in the light. Lovely." "I will need someone to do my buttons," said the princess as she stepped into the dress. "Meg, you must help me." "Little princess," said Rescurl, "do you think that you can outsmart a rat? Our dear Miggery Sow will not lay down her knife, not even for a moment. Will ya, Miggery Sow? Because that might ruin your chances of becoming a princess. Isn't that right?" "Gor," said Mig. "That's right." And so while Mig held the knife pointed in the direction of the princess, the pea sat and let the rat crawl over her back, doing her buttons up for her, one by one. The princess held very still. The only movement she allowed herself was this. She licked her lips over and over again, because she thought that she could taste there the sweet saltiness of the soup that her mother had fed her in her dream. "I have not forgotten, Mamma," she whispered. "I've not forgotten you. I have not forgotten soup."